Hello, hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to yet another video of the LFC Transfer Room. Yes, we are joined by Anthony, who is our main graphic designer, who is our main video contributor, who is one of the coolest people that we have in the channel as well. How's it going, Anthony? How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for the little ego boost there, Dan. Another Champions League final. Obviously, last night didn't expect Man City to get knocked out in that fashion. I don't think anybody did. But who cares? We're going to make it number 7 this season.
Absolutely. We also have another surprise for you, all of you guys. We have Jay coming up in a few seconds. But until he joins, let me introduce to you Mr. Damon Carr, one of our main freelance writers and one of the guys that has one of the best beards in the LFCTR. How's it going, Damon? How you doing?
All good, mate. All good. Absolutely brilliant. I think everything is aligning as a Liverpool fan at the moment. Just when you think it looks like another City Liverpool final, that's it. Last minute, everything just seems to be aligning. Absolutely everything.
The road for the quadruple is still on.
Is it written in the stars? I don't know. Let's just hope. Yeah, let's just hope.
Let's see what happens. And now we're able to introduce Mr. J to the chat. Let's see. You guys are ready. There's going to be a quick transition. 1, 2, and 3. Jay is here. How's it going, Jay? You doing okay, man? Make sure you take the mute off.
Has to be a good reprise there. Yeah, all good, mate. That match last night was insane, wasn't
it? Incredible. And we're also going to be discussing whether it's the Real Madrid versus Man City match. We're going to talk about the final. We're going to Paris. We're going to preview the Tottenham match, which is coming soon this weekend. And if there's some more time, we might be able to touch on some transfer rumors. Who knows? But today is all about that preview. So my first question is, what is everybody's thoughts on yesterday's semifinal? I'm going to start with Jay. Did you watch the match? Were you expecting Real Madrid to come back? And what are your overall thoughts basically on who we're going to be facing in the final, who is Real Madrid?
Well, I done the pre-match for Madrid City, and I said I thought a big impact would be if Casemiro played, which he did, obviously, and he did make a big difference. And I also thought if City got an early goal, then it would have just killed it. I think they'd have just built up on it more and more and got more momentum. But no, I didn't see that coming yesterday, mate. In fact, when City scored and Mahrez scored, I was close to turning it off because I thought there's no point now. And then, yeah, that happens. Real Madrid's done the best impression ever.
It was just incredible. I mean, nobody was really expecting that as well. I fell asleep in the first half and then woke up in the second half around minute 60, and I was like, wow, this is really happening. Which, by the way, guys, Jen is here as always. There we go. One of the old-time watchers. How's it going, Jen? Haler's also here. Haler says, I must start to apologize for getting my prediction from the result wrong yesterday. He predicted 2-0 to Madrid, but look at what happened. Tim Morris is also here. Everybody's here. So, just like Jay was saying, incredible match. Nobody was expecting it. Anthony, what do you make out of Man City's disaster class again? They won on the first leg. They had everything to win on the second leg. Even they scored early, and then this happens. Do you think it was really Pep's issue or fault, or do you think at this point we can just blame the players?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think they're set up really well. Obviously, they scored 5 goals over the 2 legs, and if you scored 5 goals, you expect to be through in the semi-final. You don't really expect to concede 6. But when De Bruyne got took off, I was telling my friend, I thought maybe that's Pep's overthinking moment. You're taking off your best midfielder. He's the one scoring goals, getting assists, taking shots. It is a crazy decision from him. And then he took off Mahrez, Jesus, he took off Rodri. And I think he put Ake on it in the last few minutes or so. I might be wrong there. But yeah, I thought Pep just had a bit of a disaster class when it came to the extra time as well. City didn't have a single shot in that second half of extra time. And yeah, it definitely was a bit of both. There's no way you can concede 6 goals over 2 legs in a semi-final of Champions League and then say you expect to go through. And if anything, I'm much more happy with the final. I would much prefer to play Real Madrid than to play Man City. And even if we do end up losing, at least we haven't given Man City their first Champions League title. But it's just another one of those for Real Madrid.
I gotta agree as well, my friend over there. By the way, Jen, with another super secret right here donation, which by the way reminds me, they say that in life there's four things certain in life, which is death, taxes, Pep Buttonly another final, and Jen sending us another donation. So we love you, Jen. That was awesome. And I'm going to keep up going with Damon, by the way. Damon, Anthony already said maybe it's a combination of both players and Pep. I mean, most likely we're going to see this summer Man City are going to splash all that cash for Erling Haaland. Multiple reports claiming that they reach an agreement and they already have an agreement in principle for him to come in the summer. Do you think that with the squad that Liverpool has right now and Man City bringing on Haaland, do you think there's still a difference in levels between Man City and Liverpool, or do you think that even with Haaland, they're still even between Man City and Liverpool?
I'd say it's still even because the levels we're putting up in the league are so high anyway. I can't see Man City getting any higher than that. In fact, they're going to get about 100 mark anyway. They're not going to get 100 plus again points. And then in the Champions League, I don't think it matters who they buy, to be honest, because it's mentality, and they haven't got that, and we saw that yesterday. The league, I think it'll stay the same. The league, I think, obviously it just gives them an edge, but because it's Haaland and he's a bagsman, isn't he? So, but let's see who we buy as well in the summer. If we respond with a decent, especially midfield, if we sign a decent midfield, then I can't see it changing in the league. But Champions League, I think they need some sort of, I don't know, they need to create something because they need something different. Regarding yesterday, I don't think it was Pep that bottled it yesterday. I think it bottled it the first game, but yesterday I think it was just mainly just them crumbling at the end. I don't think Pep got the game spot on. They got the 1-0. They were dominant, really. They didn't really give up too much chances. Real Madrid didn't have a shot on target until the 92nd minute, so to the goal. So I think it was just mainly this mentality. They're just gone. And I said it a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week. We played Villarreal at home. I did the stream after that, and I said I've got a feeling Man City will crumble, and exactly that.
They did.
They crumbled. But those chocolate desserts you get, where you put the sauce on and it just melts. That Rodrigo goal went in. That was it. It just melted. That was it.
Oh my God, Damon. Which I gotta agree with you. I think it's more of a mentality thing now because money can probably buy you the best players in the world, but money cannot buy you history nor the mentality to play. And that's what one of the comments coming from Georgie. I think you say they say they're going to spend 150 minimum, and it's sad. And Kumar says it's fair to say that the lack of depth cost them the final, which I don't think so. It's just what Damon was saying is more of a mentality thing. I mean, at this point, you can put all the best players in the world, and then they're just going to crumble, like Damon says. There's also this belief that Real Madrid has this Real Madrid DNA thing that no matter how bad they're doing, they somehow manage to win matches or just win finals. And which brings me to my last point on the Champions League topic, which goes to Jay. And I'm going to ask you, Jay, do you believe one of the two teams, Real Madrid or Liverpool, has the upper hand in the final? And if so, who do you think it is?
I think it's us if you go off form. But in the final of every single competition that we can possibly be in, with City getting one bad result away from winning the league as well. Madrid, I don't know how they're in the final. Chelsea should have knocked them out, and City should have. City should have been clear in the first leg, but for these crazy 10 to 15 minutes that Real Madrid decide to turn up in games, they win them, which is mad. And I think that is something to do with the history of the club and the Champions League. It has to be, because they shouldn't be in the final, but they are. And we shouldn't take the game lightly whatsoever, because Real Madrid can hurt you, and they've showed that by beating the two of the best teams in our league. I do fancy us, because I think we've got far much more energy on the pitch than they have, but you've got to be clinical. I think that's the main thing about playing Madrid. Take your chances when you get them.
So you do have, I mean, Jay does have a point claiming that Liverpool are in better form. We all know that Real Madrid were struggling in the beginning of the season in La Liga. Obviously, now they're ahead of everybody, and they already won the Spanish league. Anthony, do you agree with Jay? Do you think that the Liverpool have the upper hand in the final, or do you think there's no advantage and it's really up for grabs for anybody?
I think I agree with Jay. Obviously, we're probably in the better form. Real Madrid obviously just won their league title, so they got a few weeks where they can just kind of set their own pace, like maybe go a bit slower than usual, I guess, and rest a few players. But for the final, I'm sure they're more than experienced enough to know when to turn up and how much energy to put in. But I just think, like Jay was saying, there's too much energy in this Liverpool side. I think they got, I wouldn't say lucky against Man City or Chelsea, but they just had that extra bit of quality, which Chelsea and City couldn't defend against. But difference is we've got Van Dijk, we've got Kanate, who's not lost a single match for us. Matip, who's been unbelievable this season, and from forwards as well. If Firmino's not playing well, take him off. Put Jota on. If he's not playing well, take him off. Put Diaz on. We've just got too many options, and I just can't see us losing. But like Jay said, another thing, we just can't take it lightly because you never know what can happen against Madrid.
Absolutely. And Damon, this is going to be the third time in 5 years that Liverpool are going to face Real Madrid. The first time we faced them in the last 5 years was the final. We obviously know what happened. And second and third time was in the quarterfinals, I believe it was, 2020.
Last
Something
season,
like
wasn't
that. I think it was last season, right? Was it last season?
Yeah. Nat Phillips played, remember?
Yeah.
The COVID season, basically.
Yeah.
You're right. We weren't lucky in any of those matches. And just like Anthony and Jay was saying, this is the only time where you can actually go ahead and say Liverpool have the upper hand, both on performances wise or on squad wise. So just to finish off with you, Damon, do you think we have the upper hand? Or do you think that the factor of Real Madrid, with all those 13 Champions League that they won, give them a little bit of hope to win the final?
I think our history and our record in the competition sort of like not equals Real Madrid's, obviously, but it's sort of like plays like a level playing field in a way in terms of the heritage in both clubs. But we've got the best team in the world. So I can't understand why so many Liverpool fans, I saw so many Liverpool fans scared of playing Man City, scared of playing Real Madrid. I don't want to play Real Madrid, I don't play. Like, we are Liverpool Football Club. We can't forget that. We are Liverpool Football Club. We've got the best centre-back in the world. We've got the best player in the world. We've got the best keeper in the world. We've got the best right-back. Why are we afraid of teams? At the end of the day, we are Liverpool Football Club, so we need to show who is the best in the world, and we are. I'm more scared of us as a team than anyone else. If we play like we did against Villarreal in the first half, then that scares me. But if we play like any way we can, then nothing. No other team scares me, to be honest.
Absolutely. You also forgot about mentioning, Damon, that we have the best bench player in the world on Divock Origi, huh? So, but yeah, there's huge chances. We're going to go to the comments and see what the guys are saying in the comments. Haler, as always, comes with the stats. He says, a little bit of finding some numbers. Following Tuesday's victory over Villarreal, Liverpool are on course to generate a record-breaking £580 million turnover for the 2021-22 season. And he says this should be enough to buy a player or two. I don't know how accurate these stats are, but it's Haler, so we believe him. We trust him. Up here.
That is the key word you need to say. There should be enough.
That should be enough. And then we always say, all these years, we keep saying that, we won the Champions League final. This should be enough for a player or two, and we just buy one. And then we say, we made it to the semifinals. This is enough. And then they just surprise us with another stadium revamp. But Georgie, hopefully I'm saying your name right. He says, I think Bellingham or Tchouaméni would get us even with them if they sign him. Which brings me to my next topic. Real Madrid and Liverpool are currently the front runners for the signature of French international and French midfield star Aurélien Tchouaméni. In the comments in the Twitter, if you haven't checked us out, go check us out. But many people think that this final will basically path the road for Tchouaméni's next club. Anthony, do you agree? Do you think that Tchouaméni's paying a close attention to who's winning? Is it going to factor at all in who's his next club going to be? And to finish up, who do you think is the best option for Tchouaméni right now? Real Madrid, considering that Casemiro doesn't really have a natural backup, or Liverpool, who are completely comfortable with Firmino and sometimes even Henderson as a DM?
Well, obviously I'm going to go biased and say Liverpool, but this match doesn't really depend on his future. I guess like which club he chooses to join. It's just one match at the end of the day. Just obviously the extra tension because it's a final, but I think it's already wrapped up, to be honest. Whenever Paul Joyce tweets about something or mentions a player linked with Liverpool, is pretty much already wrapped up. So, can I see us signing Bellingham instead? Probably next window, but I reckon Tchouaméni would be perfect for us. Obviously, Milner's contract's expiring this season. We've reported to have offered him a new contract, but I'm not sure if he'll accept it or not. And same with Henderson. He's gone on the decline a bit this season, so it'll be good to have someone pushing the midfield for a starting place as well.
Absolutely, and not only Tchouaméni, really, if we go ahead and go even further back with a few rumors, like Q-Mars is saying, whoever wins the Champions League final gets Mbappe. We know that his contract is running out this summer, so we'll see what happens. Haler brings out more stats, and he says he's estimating that 118 million euros is what we're going to bring after winning the semifinals, and maybe an additional 4.5 million if we win the competition. This is already huge. We'll see what happens, but let's go ahead and shift a little bit more towards the Tottenham match, considering that we're already halfway through the stream. By the way, guys, if you're new, there's a lot of people watching already. Make sure you subscribe. There's videos out daily on transfers, analysis, watch-alongs. I mean, what else can you ask for in a Liverpool channel? So, looking ahead against Tottenham, Jay, we're facing Antonio Conte's side, who seems and looks like a completely new, a different machine. Do you think Liverpool should worry about the upcoming match, considering they have a different shape and tactics? You know, they look a little more revitalized. What do you think about this upcoming match?
I don't think it's a case of we should worry. We should just keep doing what we do and play the way we play. I'll be honest, I think Spurs are probably the most dangerous side to play in terms of the way we play at the minute, because the counter-attacking is just unbelievable at the minute under Conte, with Kane and Son. So I imagine they're going to try and exploit the offside trap the majority of the game and just play counter-attack, which will suit them. But I think City going out the Champions League plays a bigger significance of this game for us. I think it makes this game bigger for us, because if we win this, the pressure is fully on City. They've got nothing else to play for but the league. And they're definitely going to be looking at the Spurs game as the game that we might slip up. If we don't, that's probably going to make them tremble a bit. So I think the game's actually got a bigger significance because of City going out the Champions League. But you've got to be confident, mate, the form we're in. I do think it'll be a really hard game, but you've got to fancy it.
A few stats. No, not really stats, just some facts, actually. Tottenham are currently in 5th place, just 2 points behind the Champions League spots, which is obviously Arsenal, which is ahead of them. In their last matches, I mean, they have really a tricky road. If you look at their last matches, they lost against Burnley, Man United, Brighton, and they beat in the likes of Aston Villa, Leicester City, West Ham, Everton. So it's really an up and down kind of road. I mean, you don't really know what to expect with Spurs and Antonio Conte's side, but it's still a very, very tricky scenario. Damon, what do you expect in the upcoming match against Tottenham? Do you expect to see a fully strong starting 11, or do you think we're going to start rotating some players, getting ready for that final in a few weeks' time?
I expect a full fit team. I expect Diaz, Mane, Salah up front. I think Keita will be dropped though because of midweek. I think he had a poor game midweek, unfortunately. I think Henderson will be back in. I think Matty will take over for Konate. Other than that, I think it'll be the strongest team we can possibly field, really. Tottenham, I think they'll just be parking the bus, won't they? And obviously going and counter-attack, which is dangerous if they keep us out for long enough. I think if they keep us out for at least half an hour, I think that's when the pressure will start getting to Liverpool. But if we score in the first 20 minutes, we've proved that we can blow teams away. Like we blew Man City away. I think we've blown Tottenham away before. So it all depends on that first half an hour, I think, for me.
Absolutely. I gotta agree as well. Anthony, I was gonna ask you ahead of next season. Like I said a few moments ago, there's only 2 points separating Arsenal and Tottenham currently. Do you consider this current Spurs side a Champions League side, or do you think that they're not ready for that step yet? Who do you think should take that Champions League spot as a fourth place?
I've never liked Spurs, so I hope Arsenal takes it, to be honest. But they've definitely got Champions League quality players in there. Obviously, Kane was on the verge of joining City. Son in particular, fantastic player. I'd say he's probably their best player, to be honest. Romero, he's done a good job at centre back for them this season, and obviously they've got Conte as manager, so they've got that winning mentality. But I just don't think they'll get top four because we'll probably beat them on Saturday, and that's that. That's their top four wraps up, unfortunately.
I agree. I mean, as much as Antonio Conte is doing wonders at Spurs, I'm just glad to see Arsenal back in the Champions League, and hopefully they get back in the Champions League. Haler again with some fitness news. He says that Reguilon, Oliver Skip, Doherty, and even Tanganga are out for the match against Liverpool. Major concerns for Antonio Conte. Damon, I haven't gotten to you in some time now, and I'm going to ask you now, with 2 finals now ahead of Liverpool, do you consider playing the likes of Divock Origi more? Do you consider playing the likes of even Minamino, giving him some game time? Maybe Joe Gomez as a center back more, resting some players? Or do you think we have to keep going all out and just going with a strongest 11 side till the end of the season?
I think it's hard to say because I think we just got to take it game by game. I know it's the same old saying, but we just got to do that. Put the strongest team out possible on Saturday. If we get the win, see what City do on Sunday, and if they mess up, then we just got to go for it. At the end of the day, we've got a chance of creating the absolute history. I mean, the greatest team in English football ever. We just need to go for it. We've got 6 games, 6 cup finals now. If we need to rest players like Salah, if he's out on his feet, then so be it. But we can't afford to keep making changes like we did against Newcastle. We can't afford to do that anymore now. That's it. 6 games left. Just go for it.
Agree. Great point. Jen is asking if there's any contract news, and yes, there is. If I can remember from the top of my head, I believe journalist Graham Bailey. I don't know what his name is. We can look him up. I believe he writes for the Mirror. Yeah. So he currently says that after the season ends, Liverpool are going to go ahead and strongly pursue the contract extensions for Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. Elsewhere, unreliable reports from journalist Egmar, it's a Turkish journalist, says that Liverpool are currently working on extending Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract until 2027, and that's about it as of now. By the way, guys, let me just thank Noman for a great donation once again. Awesome, Noman, another of our regular viewers or watchers. We really appreciate you, and hopefully he can give us the story of his name, Nomen Nominandum. I don't even know what that is, but let's keep going. What Jen says, Spurs are going down. A lot of people asking for news, people asking for transfer news, and we're going to get there. We're almost there. Jay, let me ask you a few more questions before we end up because we just have like 5-7 more minutes up in the air. From the current season, and this is a completely separate topic, I want to ask you, who do you think, and I'm actually going to go to Anthony and Damon as well soon, but who do you think is the season's best performer so far? So the player of the season, who takes it for you? It's a tough one there, huh?
It is, mate, yeah, all for different reasons, though. I think Van Dijk coming back, being as solid as he's been at the back has obviously had a massive impact on where we are. I think Trent's been unbelievable. His numbers are ridiculous. Some of the passes he's played this year, mate, like your PlayStation can't even do it. So for him to be doing it in real life is just insane. But you know what? I'm going to go for a bit of a controversial one. I'm going to say Alisson. I think there's been so many games where Alisson's pulled a save off that's got us the result at the end of the game. And it's not been 1 or 2 occasions. It's been 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 occasions. I think he's been unbelievable, mate. And it was his header that got us in the Champions League anyway. So I can't feel like he's been responsible for the whole journey. So I'm going to go out there and say Alisson.
That's a great shout. That's a strong shout right there with Allison. And you do have a point. His header was the one that actually took us to the final after he scored against West Brom at minute 90, I think it was.
Also,
But
by the way, Dan, when we won the Champions League, I don't know if you remember, but Napoli should have beat us, Milic, in like the last second, last minute. And Alisson pulled that save off, and we won it that season. So the man's a god, mate. I go with Alisson.
This is probably one of his best, if not the best season, at least visually wise, that I have seen from Alisson pull off those saves. Duke is asking, what about Darwin Nunez currently? I know that Haler is saying that Arsenal and Man United are heavily linked with him, but Arsenal, I believe they're going strongly for Gabriel Jesus, with recent reports from everywhere saying that they want Gabriel Jesus. And Man United are one of the closest teams that look like they're going to end up getting him, unless Liverpool jump in last minute. How's it going, Gary? Who else?
They're in talks with him, apparently, at Man United, and then also Benfica waiting for another club to come in there. But we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, currently, if you think about it, just wait and see if we can ask, because their release clause is 130 million euros, if I'm not wrong. Reports are saying that they're willing to sell him for 80 to 90 million pounds, but I think they're going to go for way higher. Benfica is just going to go ahead and wait for the highest bidder. Nomen once again says means name not known. Nomen nominandum. Okay, for in Latin. Okay, I didn't know that. And thank you again for another donation. That's a good one right there to know. All right, let's go ahead and ask Anthony. Anthony, who do you think it's been your player of the season so far? We know that Jay said Alisson. Do you agree? Do you have a different choice in there? What do you think?
You know what? I think, obviously, I'm going to be biased here, but I'd say 4 of our players, we've got the top 4 favourites to possibly win the Ballon d'Or, not Ballon d'Or, PFA Player of the Year. Obviously, De Bruyne's been thrown around recently, but he was kind of a ghost in the first sort of few months of the season. But I'm going to go with Salah. He's top scorer, top assister, and first off the season. I don't think I've ever seen a Liverpool player perform like that. Maybe Luis Suarez, but Salah was just something else. Obviously, beginning of the season. Obviously, when he came back from AFCON, he's not the same, but still getting the odd goal and helping the team. And even his creativity, he's creating chances, assisting to another level. And he said at the beginning, he said in his last interview, he tried to reach 10 assists this season, and he's already broken that and got 15. So hopefully he could keep breaking more and more records for us.
That's a second different opinion right there. Mohamed Salah for Anthony. By the way, hello, Gary. How's it going? Another one of our old school viewers. Now I go to Damon. So we have Jay with Alisson, Anthony with Mohamed Salah. Damon, do you have a different choice, or do you agree with one of the boys?
It's hard to really choose against them too, really, that they've already chosen. JK said that it was a controversial one with Alisson. I don't think it was a controversial one, if I'm honest, because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for Alisson, we wouldn't be able to play a high line. We would not be able to play a high line, and our high line is why we can push on like we're doing the way we play. And
before you give me your choice, I'm going to throw out one little option right there. Would you consider at all Luis Diaz at all?
You know what? That's what I was thinking anyway. Yeah, I was thinking that anyway. If we're going half a season, play a season, then yeah. If he started at the beginning of the season, though, imagine how good he would have been at the beginning of the season.
Oh wow!
Would we be in top at league? Is that a question?
I think so. Absolutely.
I do and all, because that sort of freshening up we needed was that kick up the butt we needed in January was exactly him. And it just annoys me that FSG were going to wait until summer. That's what annoys me. This is why I think they're doing competent things. They were going to wait until summer for him when we desperately needed him in January. It was only because Tottenham went for him. We had no choice but to go for him because he's a long-term option. Which, in the end, yeah, fair play FSG for doing the right thing in the end, but it shouldn't have to take another club to go in for him. They should be deciding that, saying, look, we need this freshening up. We've got no Salah, no Mane in AFCON. We need this player. And go out and get him. Salah or Alisson. Mane's stepped up recently. Fabinho's been brilliant again. Trent again.
Thiago, yeah.
Yeah. Robbo's been a bit differently this season. I've been disappointed with Robbo in terms of the whole season. He's had his games, but not as consistent as the rest of them. But Alisson is the reason why we play what we do. But Salah, with his numbers and his assists, you got to go for him. I've got to go with Salah.
Oh, wow. Nice to hear so many different opinions. If we go to the chat, Jen go ahead and says Konate. Gary, I think it was, go ahead. I actually agree with Gary. He says that Thiago has been great this season, and Haler goes down and says that Thiago is actually nominated for the Player of the Month. I want to agree with them. I think my Player of the Season is Thiago. I have never seen any player play like the way that he plays. When he came during the first weeks and months to Liverpool, many people were saying, oh, he's wonderful with the ball and whatnot, but he's not good defensively. This season, he's proven he's world class as a defender. Most interceptions and most tackles out of any player in the top 5 leagues in Europe in the opposition staff. I mean, that's just something incredible. Which, by the way, reminds me, the second player with the most interceptions and tackles in all top 5 leagues is Aurelien Tchouameni. But it's just incredible. It's just so many options, and you were saying it, Damon.
We are so spoiled. This is why we should not be doubted. We should not be doubted. We've got the best team in the world.
See, this is the thing as well with picking player of the season. There was no wrong answer. There's so many players that you could have picked, and that's how an amazing position we're in at the minute, that there's so many people that you could put a good argument up for winning player of the season for us. So it just shows where we are, boys. It's unreal, isn't it?
It's incredible, really. And then we cannot forget that Joel Matip was the best player in the beginning of the season until Virgil got back to his feet. He was amazing. I mean, he took Joe Gomez's starting spot. I mean, there's just so many good shouts. But on that, guys, we already went over the 30-minute mark. So I just want to thank you, everybody. Gary, Jen, Haler, all the guys that have been here watching. And, of course, Anthony, Jay, Damon. We'll be back with another stream tomorrow. We'll be back with another video. We'll be back with more transfer news and all the talk. For now, thank you so much for watching us. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're liking, because supposedly the algorithm likes the likes and whatnot. So just make sure you like it, guys. Might as well. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in another video. Take care.